So skill-based matchmaking is now mostly gone. I say mostly because it's not technically completely gone, and we will get into that, but this is at least a good step in the right direction. And this is not a leak, this is not rumor, this is straight from Treyarch, and in fact you can actually play it right now if you have the open beta. And there's a playlist called Open Mosh Pit, I believe. And you can play it right now. It's similar to older Call of Duties, but let's first back up and talk about why people don't like skill-based matchmaking and why I don't like skill-based matchmaking, and I've been hating skill-based matchmaking for years. I play other games that have skill-based matchmaking, and I hate it in those games as well. But first, what is skill-based matchmaking? I'm sure all of you already know already, but just in case, skill-based matchmaking basically means the matchmaking is going to focus on your stats, so your KD, your win-loss, your score per minute, all that is going to focus on your stats, and it's going to try to pair you with other players of a similar stat, so that when you all get into a match together, it's going to be relatively competitive, very, very competitive, at least according to you. If you're, let's just say that you're really bad at the game, then you're going to play with players equally bad, but for you it's going to be super competitive. And someone who's like super good, like pro player, they're also going to play with people that are as of an equal skill, at least competitive to them as well. So it's a very competitive way of matching games together. And for people who are, have a 9 to 5 and want to come home and just enjoy a game, it's very annoying and frustrating. So you just end up raging a lot more because you're playing against players that are of an equal skill level. I've always said that this should be in a completely separate playlist, and I have actually always believed that this should be only in the ranked playlist and not in the public map playlist. And that's why I think that the idea of it just being in its own game mode and not all public match is the problem. I don't think that it should just be in one game mode or one playlist or whatever. It should be all of multiplayer, all of public match at least I should say, and then you can have ranked play or league play or arena play, whatever they call it now, and that can be skill based. I'm fine with that, but I don't think that Treyarch wants that. I don't think that Activision wants that. Maybe they look at the numbers and they see that actually if you have skill-based matchmaking, it actually makes players stick around longer, which to be honest, I don't really see that being the case, but maybe I'm wrong, who knows. But this is really good news. I think this is fantastic because no one likes the super competitive game modes that are going on now. Just trying to enjoy a game is very, very difficult. I enjoyed it back in the day when you get into a match and sometimes you're playing against someone who's way better than you and they're going to destroy you. But you also have someone on your team that might be doing really, really good themselves. And so it was sort of fair because it's complete chance, and you don't know what you're going to get. You just have to you're gonna meet players that are really, really good, you're gonna meet players that are really, really bad. So the randomness made it in some ways fair, but now it's not random. Now you're only going to play against players at a similar skill level, and you might face players that are a little bit better than you or a little bit worse, but it's still going to be at a similar skill level. And this leads a lot of players, including myself, I'll be honest, where I just go out and just kind of troll and be stupid and sort of reverse boost my KD, which reverse boosting basically means, I think it's called two-boxing or whatever. I don't know why it's called that. But basically what it means is that you're intentionally destroying your KD, your sort of account, and getting horrible stats, something that's not reflective of your skill level at all, so that you can get into a match where you're going to dominate players. This is something that a lot of people are doing, including myself, and it works. Generally speaking, it does work, but you will find players that are pretty good, and it's still a competitive game, and it's just frustrating because someone like myself, what I loved is looking at my KD and trying to improve my KD every step of the way. That was my favorite thing about Call of Duty. It was just looking at my KD, looking at my score per minute, looking at the win-loss and all that, although my win-loss was always really, really bad. But it was really fun sort of nerding out on those sort of things. But then with these new Call of Duties, you can't really do that. I mean, you can, but if you're trying to just enjoy the game and also focus on the stats, that's going to be impossible because you're going to be focusing on trying to get in matches that are fun, which means you're going to have to reverse boost, which means you're going to destroy your KD, which basically ends up that you can't enjoy the stats. With this new playlist, Open Mosh Pit, the matchmaking, they even said this, it's similar to older style Call of Duties, and they said the focus on skill level is greatly reduced, which is fantastic. I think that is a great move. I think that it shouldn't be reduced. This is the part that sort of worries me. Well, there's two parts. A, I think this should be all, like I said, all a part of multiplayer. I think this should just be a public match thing. B, I think this shouldn't be greatly reduced or mitigated. I think it should be completely wiped out from the matchmaking system. I would like to know why Treyarch and Activision are doing this, because the players have spoken out. It's at least the online players, and there is a disconnect between players who watch YouTube videos online. Those are more hardcore players, and players that just play the game casually. I want to know, like, what's the numbers behind having this system there? They must know something that we don't. They must know something like, actually, if we keep skill-based matchmaking, then we'll have more players playing online more frequently. So I like to know why they're even doing that. I don't really know why. I absolutely hate skill-based matchmaking, and I think a lot of you guys hate skill-based matchmaking. But I would like to know what's the point of all this. But overall, this is great news for Call of Duty. This is great news for the multiplayer. And to be honest, as far as the numbers go right now, from what I see, the numbers aren't looking too good for Call of Duty. Now, I'm not into, like, you know, like, I want Call of Duty to get more numbers, or I want this, or like, I love the Battlefield versus Call of Duty thing. I actually want to make a video on this. I think that competitive sort of like stupidity of like, oh, this is way better, sorry, I'm not going to play that. I love that. And I always get comments on my videos like, oh, I'm just playing Battlefield 6. I love those kind of things because it reminds me of the old days, because it's like, it's better to argue about these sort of things than to argue about whatever else, like politics or whatever else. Like, I would much rather just focus on this sort of stuff, because I think it's funny, and it means literally nothing, but in the best way possible. And so I never delete those comments on the channel at all, because I just think it's really, really funny. And I'm going to play Battlefield. I'm sure that a lot of Battlefield players are going to be upset with me for playing Battlefield, but I've played Battlefield 3, I played Battlefield 4, I tried to play some recent Battlefields, but I didn't like them as much. But I love the older Battlefields. So I am, you know, a fan of Battlefield. I will say I'm probably a bigger fan of Call of Duty, clearly by the channel. But the thing is, if you do care about like the race between Call of Duty and Battlefield and all these different things, if you do care about all that, then you're going to want Call of Duty to not have skill-based matchmaking, at least from my perspective. Again, maybe Activision knows something that I don't, but they're going to want to remove skill-based matchmaking because no one likes this. And what made Call of Duty extremely successful, at least back in the day, was the amount of fun there were in the old playlists, and all of those playlists had no skill-based matchmaking. And when I say the older Call of Duties, I'm really just referring to like Black Ops 3 backwards. So like Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, World at War. Those, in my opinion, are the golden era of Call of Duties. I'm sure there's other Call of Duties that y'all really like, but for me, once like the the reboot of Modern Warfare came out, I just didn't enjoy it as much, and I couldn't like handle the that's when I feel like skill-based matchmaking came in. So, and I didn't like a bunch of other things with the games as well. It's not just skill-based matchmaking. Wow, the lights are turning very orange right now. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down below. Are you a fan of this idea? Are you not a fan of this idea? Have you played the new matchmaking system? If you have, let me know what you think of it down below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, favorite, and subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, then take a gander around my channel. You might just fall in love with me. Consider subscribing. It's free. I'm trying to get at least 5 subscribers. I upload twice a week. Hirono, out.